everyone to find it. So hello, and namaste, Studio 108 seekers and sages. I am here with a beautiful light and lovely presence in our community. I know Lisa Stewart is Solia Spa in Brecksville, Michael's Promise, Peri Skincare, and most recently, Light It Up, which we want to hear all about all of these projects, and we want to learn a little bit more about you, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for watching. We love Tracy. She's amazing. What a big light.
Yes, and I feel like these are the times when we're finding each other and lifting each other. So I'm really happy to be here and to bring forward your projects and just throw it in the mix with my projects, because you provide me with really outstanding services.
Thank you.
So we'll start with that. How do I know Lisa? I went into Solia Skincare for a facial. Since then, I've gone for massages and more facials and more facials. And just saying, it's like a facial reading. It is. She just has a way of bringing light to things, and she's a very insightful and intuitive woman. So I'm pleased to have her as part of my community now, my friend circle. Yeah. So thank you.
I'm blessed.
Awesome. So tell us about where do you want to start with yourself?
Oh, so much. So many amazing things are happening to our world. That's for sure. It may not look like it, but it is. Just trust me, everybody. We're all elevating to a really good space.
I feel like that's one of the things I appreciate so much about you.
Yeah.
Is that you hold that with so much clarity.
Thank you. It seems like it's dark, like this is the most amount of light our planet has ever had. And with that is just purging the darkness out. Like we are seeing things that are being exposed that have always been there, but we weren't able to see them. Now they're being exposed. Anything, it's all darkness. I mean, it just has to go. From child trafficking to just lying.
Yeah.
It's just lying to
greed. The depth of greed. And all the behaviors that kind of spin around that greed and power.
So this is what we're seeing because of all the amount of light on our planet. So it seems like it's just chaotic and crazy, and it is at times, but we're getting to a good place. It is coming. Just bear with December. January's gonna get better.
Yeah.
It just is.
And when you have the depth of this kind, because this darkness has been on the planet for millennia. I mean, so when you have this depth and this deeply rooted issue, it is silly and immature to think it's just going to go away, right? Like one solar eclipse and boom, we're on it, right? I mean, it's easy to laugh about it, but that's kind of the feeling you get. Like we put our sights on, this date, there's going to be this big alignment, light's going to, the vibration's going to rise, but it's a long, slow process.
It is.
And so thank you for always being that for me. It's just like that role model of, no, the certainty. She says it was certainty, and like, it's true. Yeah, kind of suck a little of that energy off of you.
Yeah. So, and it also forces us to look at our own shadows inside of us. I say this a lot on the show, Light Up TV, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But where are we triggered inside? Like if somebody's talking about something, like maybe a friend of ours says something and we feel triggered by it. Well, why are we triggered? It's usually something we haven't healed inside. Yeah. And once we're able to go in and heal that, and say we see whatever it was triggering us and we see it again, we're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're no longer, then you're really healed. And
then you know you're moving along.
Right. And then think about like, why did we come here? We didn't just come here to work all the time, go out. I mean, we came here for a purpose, every human on this planet. And I think people are really waking up to what is their purpose and what can they do to elevate and to really make it an amazing life instead of just doing nothing.
Right? Instead of just, what's their existence? And I think like one of the things that I see are people that look at what's going on out there, and they're able to really intelligently and readily identify, like, these are the problems, these are the issues, this is what's going wrong. But if we don't also look in here, because the only way that any of us can make a difference in the collective is by carrying forward healing and lighting up the individual.
Yes.
So to keep like turning, every time I point my finger at what's wrong out there, all the other fingers are pointing back at me, like to keep turning the perspective back.
Yeah.
Like, what am I holding? What vibration am I holding? What conversation am I sharing? What story am I tangled up in?
Yes, and that's kind of the whole law of one, and that's what darkness wants. Darkness wants you to point the finger at somebody else and always blame other people and look at outside of you. They want darkness, that force just wants you to go always outside, because inside, that's our DNA. I mean, we're made from God. I mean, it doesn't get any cooler than that. And then we have God's particles in our DNA. So when you ignite that, it's just mind blowing. Like everything just falls into alignment. Not that there's challenges, but everything just falls in alignment in your life, and the right people start coming into your life.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you know, looking outside of you for answers, or blaming other people or whatever it may be. That's what darkness wants. And I've been saying this for a while. Like if you look at our world, from your work environment, people in your life, personal, professional, whatever, organizations, anyone that is dividing is coming from darkness, and they may not even know they're aware of it, and some do. Okay, you can see institutions, organizations that all they do is divide, and it's like pit people against each other. That's not coming from the light. So when you're working in the light, you're always uniting. You know, so when I'm around people, I want to be around people that are uniting, compassionate, they're holding, because they're able to be compassionate. That's like a high vibing soul, you know, and
100%. And the thing is, like, it's like getting a crack in the sidewalk and then being able to like pull apart the pieces with your fingers. Like, I mean, yeah, there might be some people who are like 99% dark, and there are some people that are 99% light, and most of us are Joes in the middle somewhere, you know? And so like, no need to feel like you have to be perfect or 100% always aligned, but like having that compassionate lens for yourself and for others is kind of like the ticket for at least working with it and getting lighter and lighter as you walk along.
I'm so glad you said it, because that's all we have to do is just be compassionate, and everything just falls in the line. Like really everything.
Like everything.
And that's like where our TV show Light It Up. It's a show that's all about positive broadcasting, and we talk about subjects from, you name it, like how to have a juicy life. Like, what does that mean? Like, how to be confident? Like, what is it? How to get fear out of your life? And do we really, like, not to be held back? Like, whatever it is you want to do for your life, well, how to go about it and do it. You know?
So these are the messages that are coming forward. And if you, we're going to unpack this TV show with Lisa. But one of the things I really note about it is it's not on mainstream media.
Yes.
Right? Because that's not mainstream media's MO.
No.
So here are secondary creations that are coming from underneath what is crumbling. So like the structures of darkness, of heaviness, of division are crumbling. And here comes Lisa and her friends lifting up a new structure that's built around inclusion, that's built around positivity, that's built around growth and empowerment and growth mindset and who we're becoming, rather than like that stickiness that we're just so all tired of. So the show is called Light It Up.
Yes. It's funny, as she's talking, I'm getting chills in my body. And as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, when somebody's talking to you and you're getting chills, that's confirmation from God that what they're telling you is the truth.
Right. It's for me, that's like capital T. And I feel that coming through, and it was coming through for me too. I was just like, I was on a roll. It was coming from somewhere. I had to get it out. But like, that's the capital T for me too, when I feel that.
Yes. And so what we're going to start seeing now, this is the turning point. Mainstream media is crumbling. We've seen what they're about now. They're controlled by darkness. They have an agenda, and that is to promote fear. That's what pays their salaries, and it's trained us to always look for the negative and not the positive. And when we come from a fear point, it's like we're so small. I mean, we really limit ourselves, and we also weaken our immune system along with aging faster. And it's like, why? You know,
and stunting creativity, because there's no potential or possibility in fear.
No.
Like, you're not writing a book or painting a picture or helping your neighbor.
No,
or
living life. It's too
Yeah,
scary.
opening a business, you're not doing those things.
No, it's
Yeah.
like you're coming from a place of too scared of what if this goes wrong, or what if somebody makes fun of me, or what if I fail? No.
Right.
Why
Yeah.
not you to write a book?
Yeah,
About
so we're
anything.
holding this light.
Yes,
Light it up.
absolutely. So light it up is the positive message of broadcasting, that get out there and live your life. Go do what it is that you are called to. And you know, some people don't know what their passion is in life or what they're meant to do. And I say something like, think about, where do you spend your most time? Where are you being drawn? Like, is it in the kitchen cooking? Or maybe you're meant to be a chef, open your own restaurant, have a food truck, something with food. Is it with children, or where are you being drawn to?
100%. And I think also for some people, and maybe it's a readiness, or maybe it's just, you know, different roles and different purposes, but it's not so much a different job, like, how can I bring more light to this job? You know,
Yes.
like maybe working at the post office isn't my dream job, but how can I bring light as the darkness crumbles? How can I be the agent, right, that brings something more positive to an older structure?
Because people are going to be needing it.
People are
So
gonna
all
need
of
it.
you light workers,
Yeah.
wake up.
Work.
If you're not up.
Work.
Time to wake up and get to work. If you're still sleeping. And thank you for all the ones that are up and like holding space and hold light, because it's all worth it. It's coming together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. Like, whatever your job is, show up, be that light, just be such a beacon, you know, and people, you're healing. When you are your authentic self and you're not afraid to say whatever, do whatever, dress however you want to dress, makeup, hair, whatever it is, just be yourself. When you are living your authenticity, you are actually healing other people around you, because you're showing up as that bright light. So you're really healing other
And
people.
it's a vibration. It's a science-based vibration. So what was the
It is.
power versus force? I think might have been one of the early books that talked about like that kinesiology and the vibration and the frequency of vibration, and how like one enlightened being offsets the negativity of thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, right? Yeah, like there's a science and a math to it.
Yes.
Never quote me. I've got the big idea. I don't have the accurate details, but this is like the concept of like walking to a place where you're like, oh, everybody is so heavy. It feels so dark. I would love to leave this job. But in the meantime, really serve.
And when you're there and you feel that heaviness and darkness, wherever you're at, you can open up your heart chakra and just send out this beautiful gold light or white light, whichever you want to do. Just send it out to everybody in that room. And that is God's pure love, just sending it out. And that touches them on an energetic level. Do that to people that are bothering you for whatever reason. They don't like you or whatever it is. Just, if you're sending them love, that is so powerful.
Right.
And it helps them to adjust and maybe see the shadow in them, or maybe just be more of a light, or whatever it is, but it helps heal them faster, it helps heal our world faster, and gets us out of this fear.
That's what being a light worker is, exactly what you are just saying, like sharing that light. Now, is it tiring? It can be.
Yeah, protect yourself too.
Protect yourself, do your self-care, go for a walk outside, take a salt bath, ground yourself, like do your things. But holding that light is being the light worker. You don't,
Right, and with that is, you know, the mornings before I get out of bed, I always say, okay, God.
Okay, God, here I am.
I say my God-sanctioned angels and my God-sanctioned guides. I don't just ask for, hey, angels, help me out today. No, I want to make sure they're sanctioned, because there's angels that work in the dark too. So I'm always like, my God-sanctioned angels and my God-sanctioned guides, please tell me and show me what it is I need to know today, give me clarity, and then also give me protection, and my children too. You know, and then I leave my house and just get these downloads.
It starts.
It starts, right? And listen to your gut, because that's, I swear, that's God talking to us.
Yeah, I think so. And I think like one of the reasons people are so attracted to yoga is because we get to offload some of the stress. And you get that precious moment at the end to hear yourself and to hear your guidance and to hear your gut, your intuition. And then, you know, we can start to have more confidence in the guidance we're getting.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. All right, where are we gonna find your TV show?
Okay, so Light It Up TV is streamed on Apple, Roku, Amazon, and Comcast cable. Or you could just go to lightituptv.com and go to that website.
Oh,
Our
okay.
website, you'll see it there.
Okay.
But I'm with 3 other women. They're so amazing. They're so like powerhouses of women, you know. And then I'm on the show and I'm like the women that always goofs up, right? And they keep,
Are you perfect?
they keep on the person. It's hilarious. But the other 3 women are all from Texas, so we go and we film in Dallas. So I go about once a month to film. I'll be leaving this weekend.
Okay, teaser. She has some killer boots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said boobs.
No, yeah, that too, but that would not be as appropriate.
Yes.
Boots. She has some killer cowboy boots. You had on.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, killer boots.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
I love
Did you
shoes.
get those in Dallas?
No, I actually got those on a website. I'll just tell them because
Sure.
this website's really awesome. It's called akira.com, AKIRA.com, and they have the coolest boots, shoes for like inexpensive, like the shoes I wore here, $20.
Really? Oh, they were high fashion. They were also high yield, so you have to know yourself. That might be a risk for me, but I bet they have
They're
other ones that are really cool. They're super, super cute.
Yeah.
Very cute. Okay. So I'll tag that on the bottom. I've got my list going.
Oh, and for the show, our show is not scripted. Like say this is not scripted, and
Right.
National shows are they're usually you can't say certain things. You got to stay within that guideline. It's very controlled. Our show is whatever. We talk about corporations that are woke. We talk about you name it. We're talking about
there's
it.
no censorship. Because,
No.
Yeah.
We're talking about reality and what we're all facing here. And everything, there's no filters on our show. This is what you get, right?
Yeah.
Your hair, everything.
Yeah.
We're just
Perfect.
real. We do have a professional makeup artist.
Yeah, that's okay.
But
That's just smart. But
yeah.
but none of it is censored and planned
No.
and limited and I feel like
It's raw.
for those of you like me who are maybe over 50 and are just like trying to keep up with it, a lot of people are leaving mainstream platforms and doing this. So it's worth our time to figure out how to find
Yes.
folks like Lisa and live it up. Because we need the nourishment they're providing, and we need alternative news sources, conversation threads, and intelligent,
Right.
resources. And also because we want to support people who are doing real things and shift some of our attention and our spending away from the old structures that we know
They don't serve us anymore.
they don't serve us anymore. They're outdated.
They
right?
are.
Like,
They
without comment.
and they're coming from fear-based.
Yes.
I
And
know
so when
that.
you think about like, how can I serve the world? Every penny I spend, every bit of my attention, because your attention is like the latest, like solid gold commodity is people's
True.
attention.
Because we're all like this.
We're always like this, and
Yeah.
everybody has figured out what the algorithm is for capturing your attention. Like, have you ever like gotten on Facebook and then gotten off when you intended? Or is it always an extra 3, 5, 7 seconds, minutes, hours, right? Because they are masters at snagging our attention.
Yes.
So even where we put our attention is like our offering, our service, our light. So I'm gonna figure out how to find Lisa's show and make sure I give that my attention, because I want that to continue to thrive.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
let me get this straight. I'm so sorry.
TV.
Lightituptv.com, and light is LITE. Light it up dot. Oh, I did it again. And scene. Lightituptv.com.
Perfect.
Yeah, you think I would know this?
It'll be in the notes. It'll be in the notes. I'll put it in so it links. Okay?
Yeah.
So we're gonna help people find that.
Mhm.
Now, there's another project that's really special to your heart
Oh.
that I feel like is so relevant. I'm getting chills
Yeah.
again, because
Yeah.
these are really relevant conversations to what's going on in our world. And today, the Attorney General announced and put forth an initiative to bring awareness and to prompt problem solving around mental health for our young people.
Right.
And so talk about Michael's project.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see this, you probably can't.
I will bring it up, like here, let's bring it up
Yeah.
so we can kind of
So
tilt.
that is called Michael's Promise, after Archangel Michael, because he's the big angel that gives you strength and support you don't want to mess with, protection. Michael's Promise is a nonprofit organization for children and adults too that have been sexually abused, that are in need of healing.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm so passionate about this, like, and we just got approved by the government last week, so we have our tax ID and then we were able to bank account. But this is something I have been wanting to do for so many years, and I heard God say to me, "It is time." And I remember I was like, "With what money?" you know. But I thought,
God has a sense of humor. I know, trust me.
because I was waiting for Peri's skincare, my other company, to like get so successful that I sell it and have all these millions of dollars. This was in my head.
Well,
Yeah.
because that's the paradigm we grew up with. That's the old way of doing it.
Right?
Right? It was all about like, you had the money, you had this. Now you need different resources, girl.
Sure. So, and then I'm just like, okay, God, with what money? And then I thought, wait a minute, who am I to question God, right? So I remember I was on my knees and I was just praying. I go, okay, God, I want to do this, but I need your protection because this is a dark world. Pedophiles, all that crap is so dark and just terrible. I need your protection. As soon as I said that, I kid you not, I'm on my knees and I see this white light just cut right through my body. And there was a
sword.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
right. That's pretty cool. You just said that.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. There was no heat or temperature or anything like that or pain. It was just this white, it had to have been the Holy Ghost or Holy Spirit, just cut through me. And then I was just lost and I started crying because I was like, oh my God, I feel so like armor over me. And then 2 days later, I had the name Michael's Promise. I knew I wanted to work with Archangel Michael because he's such a badass. So
Yes.
and you know what, God's children are not for sale. And then this trafficking needs to stop.
Yeah.
It's total BS and it has to stop.
And it's so much closer to home. If you're not aware, I will make you aware that Akron is like a sex trafficking capital in this country. It's this problem, this issue is so much closer to home than we can ever appreciate. And I know through my association with some of the folks at Rehab that there may be women that you see at the grocery store, that are at PTA meetings, that are very everyday people that you might even interact with, that you don't realize are caught up in this culture, in this ring, in this web of abuse. And
and then what it can do to you, like if you're abused as a child, oh my gosh, just like you growing up of not feeling enough or shame, and it limits you and you feel like you can't really have much to offer to society. Like you just feel weak.
Yes.
Right.
I'm disempowered.
Right.
Yes.
And I'm just speaking from my own molestation. But you know, growing up never feeling enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then finally broke that.
Right.
More than enough.
Right. I got creative and boom, baby.
Yeah.
But I think the cycle includes so much physical health as well. Is that when there's trauma, when there's mental health issues, the digestion, the immune system, all of that breaks down.
Oh my gosh, right?
It's just such a whole life experience and can really hijack someone from, you know, meeting their potential.
Exactly.
Like all educational potential, job potential, relationship potential. Huge.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I sabotage jobs, relationships, you name it.
Right.
Because I was like,
I
don't deserve this, or I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Totally. Or even the body, the trauma is stored, you know, and it's like, well, you got to heal that. And no pharmaceutical drug is going to heal that. That's emotional things that you need to release, that energy that's just stored and trapped that can lead to cancer.
100%. And learning how to come back into your body and be safe in your own body.
Yoga.
Yes. But Like, so you're doing really powerful work.
Yeah, so Michael's Promise is like I said, we're a nonprofit organization for children and adults that are in need of healing from sexual abuse. And it's a different kind of healing. I want to use like sound bowl healing, working, being in nature, yoga, doing retreats, working with animals. And of course there's therapists as well, but different. You know, it's because when I know personally, when I used to go to a therapist, which was great, you know, for years, and I wasn't getting much out of it. It was the old kind of school way of doing your therapy. And then I started working with energy workers and crystals. And it was just like that trapped emotional stored trauma just flew right through me.
Right.
And it was like, oh my gosh.
And what's so beautiful about that is that it's so much less torturous than having to unpack your story.
Yes.
And, you know, there's a book called The Body Keeps the Score that perhaps you're familiar with, of course. It really summarizes all of the more contemporary research, and it's historical perspective too, so highly recommended. But bringing people back into their bodies, and what they know is that pharmaceuticals and talk therapy kind of keep people stuck. They know that it band-aids, it doesn't.
True.
So you're
and our cells are always listening. Always listening. Whatever comes out of our mouth, your body's listening. So do you want it to be, you want to work for your body, or do you want to work against your body? And I got to a point in my life where I'm like, okay, I am done. I'm done repeating these patterns and relationships and everything. I want the most amazing life. How am I going to do it? You know, so I started listening more. How am I talking about myself? Like, I would never date myself. It was so abusive, the verbal abuse. I would like look in a mirror and just, you know, and just say stuff. No more of that. So it's like reprogramming your subconscious too. But back to Michael's Promise. And see, this all goes part of Michael's Promise.
Yes,
you know,
it
because
does.
abuse it goes off in so many different ways. It's like, you know, somebody who abuses someone, that may be 5 minutes of abuse or a few weeks of abuse or months or years, but it can last a whole lifetime. And how do we fix that? How do we heal it? Not so fix it, but how do we heal it? And also to educate parents, and just not only parents, but every single human on this planet. What does grooming look like?
100%.
Because a lot of us don't know.
A lot of us don't even know what grooming is.
Right. You know, and we're seeing it now. Like if you look at Germany, they're trying to normalize grooming and pedophilia. Like, what the hell is wrong? Or even California. And also symbols that they use, pedophiles use to lure kids in. It's even on toys. And it's just like corporations that are behind it. It's mind blowing. And once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep on this. You just become this warrior. So we all need to, this is what we're here. Protect our children at all costs. Like I say, God's children are not for sale.
And I think there's, when we talk about systems and systems breaking down, there's a lot of karma tangled up in this story, in this system, in this structure.
Very true.
And it could well be, although, you know, these are the things that we appreciate are out there, but we don't always have, you know, in a 3-dimensional answer right there, guaranteed post on the wall. But like for some of us for whom the heart is really touched by this, it could be because there's some karma that we're clearing, that we're working with. There's some self-recognition. So when you're doing even the smallest act, like listening today and having compassion for the topic and having compassion for what you don't know and weren't aware of, that maybe you can look around and see through different eyes now, that's all a part of this clearing of the karma and supporting the darkness and just sort of shedding out of our world so that, you know, we can be more light.
It's true.
Super important topic.
That's beautifully said.
Yeah, really important topic.
I know, and it's a dark topic and it's ugly and people don't want to acknowledge it or even, but it's here. And it's not just at the border.
No, it's not just at the border. And it's not just on the West Coast in Hollywood. You know, it's not just in New York City. It's like right here in, you know, in our own neighborhoods. I think there was even a building down in Brecksville, wasn't there? That got shut down by the FBI.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's what they do. They like to go into nice neighborhoods where they can be kind of camouflaged.
And a lot of them call themselves spas, which infuriates me because I own a spa and I'm a spa expert and I speak, you know, and I'm on the advisory board in my industry and set the trends for my industry and blah, blah, blah. So it infuriates me. It's like, but how dare are they? But we need to shut them down. And, you know, a lot of what we do is censored, and it makes me very upset, and I have to channel that anger.
Yeah.
But also anger can be a good thing because it causes you to action, create action.
100%. Yeah, it's fuel.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think, you know, these corporations that are censoring us and they're trying to shut us down, they could shut down child porn in an instant. In an instant. Why are they not? You know, and I get so upset. I'm like, okay, where are all the mega pastors? Where are they?
Yeah.
You know, and I can go on and on, but
yeah. But once again, the collective is created by individuals.
yes.
So, you know, each of us just doing our very best part.
Yeah, exactly. Step away from that judgment.
Yeah, exposing when we can, be responsible for ourselves,
Yes.
like all of that. Because yeah, it's really a deep issue.
It is.
And
their time will come.
no one's gonna escape.
I know. That's the best part of it.
No one's getting out easy. Oh, yeah, it's a big deal.
No.
Awesome.
So that's
beautiful. So is there anything we can do specifically to support Michael's Promise right now?
Well, every time you come to Solia Spa, a portion of that goes right to Michael's Promise, along with purchasing Peri skincare. A portion of that goes right to Michael's Promise. And very soon I'll be opening up donations for it.
Perfect.
So we're building, we have a group of therapists now. So some of it's going to be online because some people it's just easier for them online, and others will be going to the therapist's office, but we will have a brick and mortar. I don't know when.
You will.
But we will start off by doing retreats.
Yes.
And have a weekend retreat where, you know, it's so much healing.
Yeah.
And it's just a different way of healing.
And if you would, keep us in mind, because
Oh,
I would
I'd love
love
to
to
have you.
host a fundraiser, an event, a supportive activity for the people you serve, like anything, you know, use of the space, anything that would serve you.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to.
And I think it's women were like waking up and we're just like enough of this BS.
Yeah.
Where the
No,
feminine
we're
is in
not
charge
just
now.
waking, we're awake. We're drinking coffee. We're drinking the strong stuff. Espresso, let's go. We have some shit to take care of here.
We do.
Yeah,
and
we
we're
do.
protecting our children.
100%.
Everyone's child's our child.
Absolutely.
We're protecting them all. So because so many organizations have failed, and you know what? No. So we're gonna get shit done. Sorry, we're swearing.
Yeah, I remember a conversation I had after one of the elections, and you know, having like that dreadful feeling of what was going to happen. And I ran into some friends who do a lot of activism in the Akron area, and it was like, whoa, because you know, I was like, whoa, and they're like, whoa, girl, chin up. Anything that good is going to happen for grassroots efforts anyway. So don't worry about that. Boots on the ground, let's go. And so this is why it's so important to like kind of shine a light on what you're doing and to like support each other, because it's only going to happen at the grassroots.
You're right.
That's how things are going to change.
You're right. And I love that.
I love that too, because
You
it
know?
makes me like
you're part of something.
powerful. Yeah, I can do
Yes.
something. I don't have to sit by and like watch and wait for everybody else to solve my problems or the world's problems.
Well said.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
There's the power.
yeah, for sure.
I love that.
Awesome, girl. I could talk to you all
I
day.
know. I'm so blessed to have her in my life.
Aren't we just like having the best time? So let's talk about Solia Spa. What's available there? Because I would love for people to be able to reach out and get some of the outstanding services you guys offer.
Oh gosh, I have such an amazing staff. I'm so blessed, like, because they all love what they do. They're all very passionate about what they do, and you feel it.
Yeah.
You know, and you think about when you're coming in for a facial, that's a very intimate area. We're going to someone's face, you know, or
I mean, we shine a light right there.
I know,
It's very intimate.
right? And as light workers, who with the spa as a light worker, you know, by their energy, and we're just giving off really good, pure energy.
I think that that's what really strikes me. Just by walking in the doors, you can feel that.
Yes.
You feel that clarity.
Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. But also each and every person that I've interacted with there has like a clear channel. Yeah,
I mean,
it's undeniable.
right?
It is crazy what goes on there. I'm like, oh no, I want this feeling love, because this is healing. Like this isn't just 3D healing. There's like 5D energy that's coming through. It's really a blessing and a gift.
It's cool cool because we usually have messages too for our clients.
I know,
And,
I don't know if you'd want to talk about that, but I'm really glad
Yeah.
you brought it up.
Yeah, I'll tie this into Light It Up TV too, because it's so funny. I don't know, I feel everybody's intuitive. It's just waking it up if you choose to. There's no right or wrong on that. I mean, it's just life is better when you do.
I'm just saying.
But it's like when I put my hands on someone, like you just get this like view, this rush, you can scan like through your body what's going on, where you're hurting, you know, pain wise, where the energy's blocked. And then it always shows up, your entourage from heaven is always around you. And I'm just like, oh yeah, Tracy, you got this next to you, and this is the message they're saying.
Lisa's like calling out all my spirit guides and support team, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that's this, that's that. And I'm like, she's good, she's really, really good.
So, and everybody at the staff is intuitive.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So we always have messages for our clients, you know, sometimes not, because
Sometimes the energy's quiet.
right. So when Light It Up TV, before that even happened, like our very first meeting, I didn't even know I was going to do a TV show. I mean, I did ask for manifestation of that like a year before.
Okay, so you had sent it out there.
I did. So it was just hanging out. You know,
But it wasn't like you were, this week, let's go. It was
No.
just like, you know.
And I was thinking of a show for skincare, wellness,
Yeah.
you know, but it turned into something else, which is cool. So I remember meeting with Zandra. She's the owner of her network, Zandra TV, and she's amazing. And I'm with her just talking. I was to meet her last March. This is how cool when you're in
that's so
alignment with
quick.
God. Oh yeah. So
That's so quick, I had no idea.
So there's 4 of us co-hosts, right? Megan and I basically grew up together since we were teenagers. Megan's from the Cleveland area, who lives in Austin. And then and she's an entrepreneur coach. And then there's Lori. Lori is a coach for the Housewife of Dallas. Am I saying that correctly? The Bravo show. And she's amazing. She's a spiritual coach too. She's just really cool. So I work with them and, you know, talk to their audience about skincare and that. And last March, they said, hey, you know what, Lisa, you really need to meet Zandra. She owns her own TV network and she could really help give you ideas for Peri skincare and how to market it. I'm like, okay. So get on a plane, fly down there. The 4 of us are together. And Zandra's like, hey, Lisa, tell me your story. So I start talking about what I do. And then all of a sudden, her spiritual entourage is in my ear. And tell her. And it was like, it was a male, I don't know, some angel. He's like, her left knee hurts really bad. And so then my left knee starts hurting and aching. That's how it happens.
Right.
And so I was just like, okay. And he's like, you have to put your one product on her knee. It's the Solia body enlightenment oil. It's really cool. And I'm just like, she's gonna think I'm crazy, but okay, here we go. So I interrupt her and the voice just gets louder and louder, right? It's like, I go, Zandra, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I have to put this product on your knee because they're telling me so, okay? And she's the first time I ever met her. And she's like, what? And so I just do what I'm told. When spirit's like, I don't say no anymore. I don't say, was that my imagination? Or I just know.
Okay, note to self, you guys. Do you hear how she receives the guidance she's given? And she's probably grateful for it. Thanks for letting me know. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah.
Glad we had this time together today, kind of thing. And she takes action on it. And so I'm putting this out because it's something I really struggle with. And someone recently, 6 or 7 months ago, said, your teachers are telling me you're not always very receptive. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? Oh no, they said, your teachers are telling me there's resistance. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm so willing, I'm so willing. And so then when I saw this person the next time, she said, actually, Tracy, maybe receptive is a better word than resistant. So then I started practicing and I started noticing, like you said earlier, like, how do I talk to myself? How do I trust what's coming through for me? Yeah. Right? And so you trusted it. Right there. The cream hits Zandra's left knee and
I put the oil in my hand. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna, okay. So I just go ahead and put on her knee, and then she's just like, I've never met this woman before, right? And I go, hey, they're just telling me. I go, your knee hurts, da da da. And all of a sudden, you know, God just works right through me, and you just feel heat coming out of my hands. And she's like, girl, I don't know what you're doing, but that feels really good. She's doing this and she can like move her knee. And I said, yeah, this is all God, you know, and turned out she's Christian. And so we really bonded. It was a really amazing moment. And then I just heard God say, or somebody on her spiritual team said, she's getting saved, a nervous breakdown, because she's very religious. This is so cool. And so I said to her, hey, they want me to tell you that you're giving Satan a nervous breakdown. And she just lost it, started laughing. Then all of us were just crying because it was such a spiritual moment, a godly moment. And then she just looks at me, I'm on my knees, I'm like rubbing her knee. And then all this heat's coming out, this energy of healing. And then after it, she was just like, we all were in tears. And she said, you know, I have been wanting to do a TV show with women for a long time. Like, I really want to do it in 2020, but God said, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. She's like, this is it, the four of you. Okay, I didn't know I was walking into that, but I listened. Right. And I just do what they told me. That was March. April, we came up with the show title. Heard God say, light it up. And I was like, okay. May was the photo shoot, June filming, July filming, August filming. September was the red carpet event and launching.
Wow.
So when you're in alignment with God, or, you know,
100%.
It's so quick.
And part of that alignment now is doing things differently, doing things independently, doing things under your own creative inertia. Doing things maybe when the traditional resources aren't sitting there and you're just from a passionate place.
Right.
Lighting it up.
Right. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're leading with your heart, you can never go wrong. Whether you're in a situation and you want to talk to somebody, but you're nervous, anxiety, speak from your heart. You never go wrong.
Yeah.
You know, because.
And I like in your face, compassion. So that's like,
thank you.
You know, the reminder to come back to something as simple as compassion is kind of the key that changes and shifts. Because, you know, when we sat down and I was so grateful to you for the way you bring such strength to your position, right? It's because for many of us, there's a lot of jostling. For all of us, there's jostling, but for many of us in that jostling, you know, you have days that are easier to hold light and days that are much harder to hold light.
Yes.
And so we're all like in training, working out, trying to get stronger and stronger and clearer. So you're a beautiful example of that in so many ways, Lisa. Thank you.
So you.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a marathon, but yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you for spending this time with me.
Oh, I'm honored, blessed. Thank you. Yeah, and to you all.
For sure. I mean, it's no fun without people listening. So here's what we're gonna say. We've got the boot source.
Oh yes.
The lighted.tv. We've got the spa, the Solia spa. We're gonna look into Peri skincare when we're at the spa.
Right.
And you can tell us about that, like what's a good match for our needs and
oh
such.
yeah, easily,
right?
It's all
if your left knee hurts, just stop by. We'll cover all that. All of that will be in the bottom. And then if you're listening, if this resonates, if you could please subscribe, like, comment, share.
Yeah, I just heard that somebody is getting a hip replacement.
Okay.
Or about to, or did, or contemplating, and that when they do after, they really need to start drinking celery juice, green kale and celery. Okay, so yeah, your gray juices. I don't know who that is. A woman in her 60s, grayish, curly hair, shorter hair.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm getting these downloads. So your surgery is going to be fine.
Just get some celery juice and
Start, yeah, because you've inflammation is going to help with your inflammation, and start drinking that. But your surgery will go fine. You may not need surgery, but start drinking the celery juice and know that you're in good hands with your surgeon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
She's probably about 5'4", 5'3", shorter. Sometimes I'm not always on with the height, but you have good skin. I always can see it here. You can see this, like a shorter, gray, curly hair.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, if that's you, we love you. We're supporting you. All right. Namaste.
Oh my God, thank you.
Thank you so much. Namaste, you guys.
Thank you.
Be well.